The movie opens in 1990s Tokyo. At an event, an idol group called Chom is about to perform. A group of men gossip about one of the members of the pop idol group, Mima. This event is supposedly her last event with the idol group. Mima has decided to leave the group to become a full-time actress following the proposal from her agency. Her manager Rumi tried to convince the agency head, Tadokoro, that Mima can act and stay an idol at the same time. But Tadaloro is not convinced, and he wants Mima's full attention in her acting career. It's time for the group to perform and they open their stage to a huge crowd. Outside the idol activities, Mima is an ordinary person who rides the train and does groceries from the supermarket. On stage she is a great performer. During the performance, one of the security guards is seen to be obsessed with her. He also gets in a fight with some gangster kids and ends up disrupting the show. Mima requests them to stop and tells everyone that she wants everyone to get along. She finally makes the announcement of leaving the group. Mima sings her last song as the other members of the group support her. After the performance, as they reach their car, Mima receives a letter from one of the fans who says that he always reads Mima's room. This surprises Mima as she doesn't know what's going on. Back at her apartment, she takes a bath and finally sits to read the letter she received. She gets a strange letter that talks about Mima's room. Her mother calls, which diverts her attention. Mima receives a creepy fax that labels her as a traitor. Mima is back in the shooting grounds and the first thing she does is show the letter to Rumi. Rumi explains that Mima's room is a website. The shoot begins and Mima is called in for her part. She only got one line, and this infuriates Tadokoro. Mima on the other hand is feeling overwhelmed by the unfamiliar environment. Tadokoro finds the writer and producer of the drama Mima is shooting, and makes remarks to increase her lines. The writer of the detective drama is hesitant to use Mima's acting, as she has an innocent image due to her idol activities. Tadokoro insists that Mima gets some more parts as she wants to change her image. The producer is willing to look into the matter, and he hands over a letter from a fan for Mima. Tadokoro starts to open the letter and it blows up, injuring Tadokoro's hand. Back in Mima's apartment, Rumi sets up a computer for Mima. Mima asks if they should call the police over the matter, but Rumi doesn't pay attention to it. Instead, Rumi teaches Mima how to navigate the browser. She starts reading the website called Mima's Room and finds diary-like entries. As Mima reads along, she finds it funny and interesting at the same time. Soon her amusement turns into horror, when the entries describe details of her personal life such as what she felt during the stage performances. Mima resumes her shoot, and Rumi inquires Tadokoro if this drama was worth leaving the idol activities for Mima. Meanwhile, Chom's group manager tells Tadokoro that their new single hit a record place in the chart. Mima is traveling to her agency office but is terrified that someone might be watching her. A group of reporters try to talk to her, but she avoids them, making them think if all the idols turn unfriendly when they become actresses. As Mima enters the elevator, she sees the security guard with a creepy smile. In the office, Mima notices the Chom group having a celebration and for a second imagines herself with the group, celebrating their new achievement. Rumi hands her the new script. During her shoot, the security guard is also there, taping the acting scenes. At the office, Mima learns that her roles have been extended and she has to do a rape scene. Rumi is completely against the proposal, but Mima agrees, saying that it will help her grow in the industry. Mima cheerfully accepts the scene, however on her way back, she sees her pop self, profusely refusing to do such a disgraceful scene. The inappropriate scene starts, and Mima starts performing it. As the scene proceeds with few takes, Mima loses her focus, and imagines herself on stage as an idol hearing the cheers. Rumi can't bear to see such a Mima getting recorded by cameras, as she was a former idol herself and highly values the image. As the shoot ends, she goes back home only to witness her pet fish die. She breaks into tears and sees the pop image of herself taunting her. The security guard reads Mima's room, and learns that she doesn't like her writer and producer, who give her explicit scenes against her will. Mima does a few interviews following her inappropriate scene, and she tells the journalist that it was a hurdle she had to overcome as an actress. Mima reads the website on her name, and finds the entries following her explicit scene. It blames the screenwriter and shows disgust towards her role and acting career. Mima is not writing these, and she doesn't feel that way either. Mima's pop image appears up on the screen saying that the real Mima is writing these. The imaginary pop image tells that now Mima is a filthy woman. The image jumps out of the screen and flies away. Mima keeps screaming, "Who are you?" but the pop image vanishes in thin air. Meanwhile, the screenwriter is stalked near his apartment and is left brutally wrecked in the elevator. The news of the screenwriter shocks everyone and a few blame Mima for the incident. Mima gets another opportunity to be photographed by a famous photographer, who is expert at stripping the clothes of his subjects. Mima takes off as many as she is asked for, and continues the shoot. She locks herself in the bathroom for a break from the indecency, where she once again sees the pop image. Mima imagines herself singing in front of the people once again. Somehow, the security guard also seems to witness the hallucinations Mima is seeing. Soon, Mima's photos are being sold in a magazine which are completely nude and inappropriate. The security guard finds it unbearable to see his idol in such poses. He logs into his email and receives an email from the writer of Mima's room. The writer says the Mima doing the inappropriate photographs and scenes are not the real Mima. The security guard promises to help the real Mima by eliminating the fake one. Mima continues shooting her scene, where her coworker says that hallucinations can never be real. She immediately finds the creepy security guard watching her and she freaks out. This disrupts the scene, and she sincerely apologizes. When she looks back, the security guard is gone. The Chom group is holding a radio show, and Mima is glad to meet her ex-group mates after such a long time. However, she finds the fake pop Mima sitting with the girls. Mima runs after the image all around the building to the road. She runs into a car being driven by the security guards. However, she wakes up in her room. Mima thinks that it was all a dream. She meets Rumi, who tells her to cheer up. As Mima continues to express her thoughts to Rumi, she is once again woken up by her coworker. Turns out, she is actually on the set and has been dreaming all this time. She has been messing up her lines and keeps having hallucinations of the security guard. She once again wakes up in her room, and Rumi is in her room once again. Thinking it's all a hallucination, Mima breaks her cup and bleeds. As Mima continues to read the Mima's room, she loses more and more grip of her reality. The drama she is filming also seems to resemble her story, where the murders are a result of hallucinations. The photographer who took explicit images of Mima orders pizza, and is stabbed multiple times by the delivery man. Mima sees herself stabbing the photographer but wakes up in her room. She receives a call from her agency, who informs her of the news of the photographer's demise. Mima finds bloody clothes in the closet, making her believe it was her who stabbed the man. Mima continues her shoot, where she has to act stabbing a man. However, the actor soon turns into the photographer. As she wakes up, she is being interrogated by the actress who plays a psychologist. The psychologist says that Mima has multiple personality disorder, and considers herself as an actress. She also explains that all the murders and sexual assault is acting in her life, and by doing this, Mima was able to save her sanity. Her character, Yoko, has eliminated her older sister and then impersonated her to avoid the darkness of her own life. Mima hears claps where people cheer, saying the drama has come to an end. She is confused as she wasn't acting and felt it was all real. Mima wraps up the shoot and goes to change in her green room. On her way, she meets the actress who played the psychologist. The actress tells Mima that illusions can never be real and leaves. Tadokoro informs Rumi about Mima's next job, which also includes sketchy scenes. Tadokoro leaves and Rumi says she will wait for Mima. Meanwhile, Mima is attacked by the security guard who thinks she is fake. He confesses killing the screenwriter and the photographer. The security guard assaults her, and while fighting she grabs a hammer and hits the head of the security guard. Mima escapes and Rumi finds her in a shabby state. Mima brings Rumi where she hit the security guard, but his body is missing. Back in her place, she tries to call Tadokoro, but he doesn't receive the call. His phone rings while his body is lying next to the security guard. Mima notices something off about her place. Rumi, dressed up as pop star Mima, says that it is the real Mima's room. Rumi sings her song, and pretends to be Mima. She adds that an idol only needs to sing and express love to her fans. Rumi confesses that she instigated the security guard in killing those people, and also replied to her true fans through emails. She then stabs Mima on the shoulder. As Rumi struggles to make more injuries, Mima manages to dodge the later attacks and escape. She screams for help, but Rumi catches up and throws her off the bridge. Mima, screaming for help, runs to the road, but Rumi manages to stab her once again with her umbrella. Rumi says that there is no need for two Mimas in the same world. While fighting Rumi, Mima snatches the wig away, destroying Rumi's persona pretending to be Mima. She accidentally stabs herself with the broken glass and walks to the middle of the road. Before getting hit by a truck, Mima manages to shove Rumi away and people come to help the two girls lying on the side of the road. After a while, Mima is seen visiting a mental hospital where Rumi is admitted. She still believes herself to be the pop star Mima. As Mima exits the hospital, Two nurses gossip saying that she must a lookalike Mima as the real actress Mima, who is now very famous, won't visit a mental hospital. Mima walks to her car and looking at her rear mirror says that she is the real one. If you enjoyed this recap, check out the next episode. Also, don't forget to subscribe for more anime recaps, turn on the bell notification for future uploads and leave a like to help the channel out.